Good afternoon to you. It is 20 to 3 on Friday afternoon, the 16th of July. I thought I'd get a quick video message in before the end of the school day. Apologies if I waffle even more than normal. Struggling to keep awake, quite frankly. I think I've hit the wall now at the end of term. It was 2.5 days to go, so I think I'll have a good rest this weekend, ready for that final push on Monday. And it should be a good 2.5 days, all being well. So a few updates for you. If you could just bear with me and humour me for a few minutes. A couple of letters going out this week or today possibly. One about the end of term arrangement, but also covers off in other areas as well. And the current COVID situation. We met, all the heads in Trafford, met again online with the Trafford Public Health team last night, and I have to say those ladies at Trafford Public Health and that team have been superb throughout, and there's been some mutual support going on between the head teachers and the public health team down there, so a big thank you to them. But some quite startling figures really, which some of you will be aware of. We quote, don't we, this how many cases per 100,000 of COVID. And at the moment in Trafford, it stands at around 525 per 100,000 population, and that is the highest figure it's been throughout the pandemic. And more strikingly, perhaps, is amongst the 15 to 19-year-olds, the top end of our school range. The figure in Trafford is 1,456 per 100,000, and the 10 to 14-year-olds, 1,041 per 100,000. So we can see the huge impact on young people of COVID at the moment, and it's tearing through schools, and we all know how disruptive it has been in recent weeks here at Wellington, and of course elsewhere. We do not stand alone in that. So the irony, of course, I suppose, is the easing of measures nationally as of Monday. The only logic behind that, of course, is not that it's less risky of catching the virus, but because it's deemed better to be doing this now rather than doing it in the autumn and winter with other consequences on the back of that. From our point of view, having spoken to Public Health last night and my fellow head teachers, we will continue with our current measures until the end of term. So 2.5 days of the current COVID secure measures that we have at the moment. So nothing will change between today and next few days of next week for the end of term. So please, thank you for your support of that. So that's one part of the letter that goes out. It also talks about the mass testing that we're expected to do in September. There'll be a staggered start, as I mentioned last week. In the letter, it has a table of who gets tested and when they then subsequently return. So please put that in the diaries and let's make sure pupils aren't arriving on the wrong day or the wrong start of term for tests or whatever. Okay, so that's in there as well. And the final bit of that letter talks about a new project we have, I think I mentioned last week. Thank you to Mrs. Stevens and her team who've put together what we're calling the Curriculum for Life, C4L, which is an extended tutor period for Key Stage 4. We have at Key Stage 3 the statutory sex and relationship education syllabus delivered via PSHE, and this is a sort of version of that, but more geared towards, more age appropriate for Year 10, Year 11. But all pupils in the school will have a 40-minute extended tutor period on a Tuesday, which means a school day on a Tuesday will run until 3:20. The other 4 days will finish 5 minutes earlier than now at 3 o'clock to make up for that. So have a read of that letter. Any questions of that, please get back to me. That's a change to the school day as of September the 6th of this year. Okay, so 3 items in that letter. The other letter that's going out, in fact, there's another one from Miss Stevens to explain the Curriculum for Life, those year groups that pertains to. I'll look at that. But the other one for me is around results day. And the appeals process for those students who have had centre assessed grades at GCSE and A-level this year. So have a look at that. It talks about results days and the arrangements, the dates and times of those, the 10th for year 13 and the 12th for year 11, and then the subsequent appeals process, which is quite technical. And yeah, I think it says all quite clearly in the letter. But any further queries, please get in touch with us before we finish next week. But hopefully that will be self-explanatory. Okay, so have a good read of those, please. Any queries, do get back to me. We're always here at the end of a phone. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, that was just Mrs. Roberts, my PA, getting in touch about something. I hope she doesn't think I'm rude putting the phone down on her, but there we are. Right, what else have we got? A quick announcement for Mrs. Copeland. She flagged up a pupil voice survey to get the views of pupils on various things around school life, how happy and safe they are, how well they're learning, how they're enjoying things, etc. Do they feel they're learning well and teachers are explaining things appropriately, all those things. And we've only had about 200 or 300 replies yet. It'd be great if everybody in school at the moment could do that survey. It's a very quick thing. I think it's a Survey Monkey and pupils can access that at home. So please, if you don't know about it, you could remind young people to do that pupil survey. It's really invaluable information for us in school. We can build on that in terms of our future planning. Okay. Talking of future planning, I had a great little sort of meeting online with the governors last night. I mentioned before, very excited to put together our school improvement plan for the next cycle with SLT, and I fed that back to governors last night, and it was very well received. And in terms of our agenda, under the umbrella of fairness, one of our school values, and levelling things up and building back stronger after the pandemic, all those things are encapsulated in that document and our plans for next year. So really exciting time when I hit the ground running in September. Okay, this week, brilliant to see. We had to cancel year 6 or 7 transition day, but it's been wonderful to welcome our new year 7 September, current year 6s into school this week. And I have to say, our tour guides, our ambassadors and others in primarily year 7 to 9, but some others as well, sixth formers and older ones, have been showing the new pupils around school this week after school, and sometimes their parents are in tow. But I have to say, both the new year 7s and our guides currently in school have been fantastic. And hopefully that provides a bit of reassurance before the young people start in September. And commiseration to some year 6s. I know that some schools have had their residential cancelled. I hear that one Trafford Primary School is actually on the way to residential and got a phone call saying you've got to come back. There's been an outbreak and it couldn't go ahead. So absolutely devastating for these young people. And on that note, we were hoping we'd have no cases this week, but unfortunately, I think we had a case in year 9 and year 12 yesterday. And on the back of that, we had to isolate some young people who will now miss the end of term and, of course, miss the joys of Welly Fest next Tuesday. But, of course, yeah, there will be other years for them to take part in that, and just hope they're safe and well at home. And, of course, I've got to mention the whole point about maintaining the COVID measures at the end of term. We can argue that young people are only mildly ill from COVID, although some aren't. We don't really know the full facts about long-term effects on young people. But it's not just about health, is it? It's about anybody who tests positive or who's a close contact has to isolate. And that will ruin the end of term for them. People may have holidays booked next week, which may have to be cancelled. So we have it. It's incumbent on me to make sure we keep people as safe as possible at the end of term, and they can start their summer holidays as they so choose. Okay. Other things this week, an absolute joy yesterday. The year 7s back in December, of course, started preparing for a panto to put on ideally to parents, but of course that wasn't to be. It was filmed instead. So during the day yesterday, I did 3 performances to 3 different year 7 teaching groups at a time, and some other audience members in our lovely new seating in the Abstead Hall, our new sound and lighting system, although the sound wasn't used, it was just the lighting. And I have to say, what talent we have, the absolute joy and enthusiasm on those young people on stage. And for the audience, it's a panto, so the audience participation was something to behold. But there was so much acting and singing and dancing talent clearly there. It does bode well for the next 5 years or so for that current crop working through for performing arts at Wellington. So well done to Miss Richardson and to Miss Pusey and to Miss Spencer and to Mrs Simpson, who prepared that with the young people, and to the whole cast, too numerous to mention. You were absolutely superb, and it's such a shame parents weren't there. As nice as it was, it makes you realise all the things that young people haven't been able to do this year, which is quite sad, isn't it, in many ways. Hence the fact we want to end the term with a bit of a bang, of course. So more of that next year, more performances, more chance for the kids to show how great they are, how talented they are, and for those proud parents and grandparents and family members to sit in the audience as we did yesterday. So if your child was in there, I hope you get to see the DVD or whatever it might be, and relish that. Okay. In terms of school accomplishments, events and activities, our newsletter, which is a little bit slimmer perhaps shall we say, than usual, and it's online, it's on the website now. We decided not to produce hard copies for current students. We'll give some out to prospective parents at Open Day in September even. So there's an online version, a digital sort of infographic book thing, whatever you call it, on our website to have a look at. Okay, so not the whole range of activities and trips that we would normally want to celebrate in there, but still worth a look. So the newsletter is now on the website. Today we say farewell to Robin Legg, who's been a IT technician this year. Robin is a local lad. He went to some school in Sales somewhere, I'm not sure where. Went to St Andrews University, got a very good degree there, and was due this last year to go on a scholarship to an American university to carry on his studies there. Of course, that fell by the wayside with COVID, and Robin, we've had the benefit of his time with us this year, and he's been a real asset, especially with remote learning and use of Microsoft Teams and staff having their own laptops and all those things, and some of the developments in school as well, which are ongoing. To have Robin as part of that team as a technician with the other IT guys, Tim and Stuart, has been an absolute godsend. So Robin, you probably won't be watching this, but thank you ever so much. A bit of a send-off today. He's not going away for another week or so hopefully he'll join us next Wednesday as we finish the term. But wish him all the best, and for his future at university in the States and any sort of career that he may pursue subsequently. And hopefully he'll come back and see us at some stage. Okie doke. I think that's pretty much it. I forgot to mention at the very beginning, of course, that that late start on Monday was supposed to be allow us to come in with a spring in our step, full of all the joys on Monday morning at break time following an England win. It wasn't to be, but lots to be thankful for, lots to celebrate. What a great run they had, and just weren't good enough on the night. I think Italy were worthy winners, I have to say. Let's not go into at this stage now the aftermath of that and the abuse online that some of the players received, but doesn't it just show that our role in schools in educating people on a number of levels has never been more important? And that's why, going back to our school improvement plan for next year, this work that we do beyond the academic side has never been more important. Okay, so it wasn't the week it's supposed to be football-wise, but hey-ho, the British Lions start their test series against South Africa next week. Hopefully that'll be something to celebrate, and plenty of stuff in the offing as well. So thank you very much indeed for listening once more. I might do a quick video next Wednesday to end the term and give out lots of thank yous and best wishes and say goodbye to one or two folk. But in the meantime, have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in, as it were, again. And I'll knock off fairly soon and go home and have a sleep. Take care, folks. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for your support.